Luton Town have granted permission for manager Nathan Jones to talk to Southampton about the managerial vacancy at St Mary's. Here is my take. Get involved with your views on the potential big move for Nathan Jones down there in the comments. And I should start off this video by flagging the word potential. Luton's statement yesterday said Luton Town Football Club can confirm that permission has been granted to Southampton to speak to Nathan Jones about their managerial vacancy following the Hatters match at Stoke City. As we're recording, that match happens tonight. If you take that statement literally, then Nathan Jones is merely off for an interview probably tomorrow at Southampton after this game against Stoke. He could obviously not reach an agreement with Southampton in the same way we saw Cambridge boss Mark Bonner elect not to step up a division in the same way, not Championship to Premier League, and go manage Rotherham. I'm sure some people will also be thinking, though, that the public acknowledgement of this interview or talks means only one thing, and this is a done deal. Look, I'm not in the know or present in the room, so in the absence of any solid evidence to the contrary, I think it's probably best to entertain all possibilities at this stage. Ralph Hasenhüttl was fired as Southampton manager then on Monday morning. The Saints lost 4-1 at home to Newcastle on Sunday. They're in the bottom three in the Premier League, but it's tight in that bottom half. They're only 4 points off Brentford in 11th spot. The club took on new ownership back in January, but they have spent the last 10 years in the Premier League. 4 of the last 5 seasons, they have finished down in the bottom 6. But prior to that, Southampton finished 8th, 7th, 6th, and 8th. So at their peak, they can be seen as one of these best of the rest clubs in that pack behind the big 6. We'll get into Nathan Jones right now. First of all, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up button and liking the video, that would be a big help to me. Now look, in most normal situations, if a Championship manager is being interviewed for a Premier League job, I'm very much in the you go and take the opportunity while it's there camp. I do, though, think that Nathan Jones' history makes it just a little bit less straightforward than that, though. Having taken the Hatters up from League 2 and with an excellent team right up at the top of League 1, ultimately heading for promotion with or without Jones, he left to go and manage Stoke in 2019. That move really did not work out well, but Jones was welcomed back to Luton and again did a superb job upon his return, avoiding relegation after that pause for COVID, then up to 12th, and then last season took Luton all the way to the Championship playoff semi-finals. I'm sure we'll get binary views on Jones as a manager. His work at Luton is, in my opinion, pretty unarguably brilliant. Okay, the club were coming from a low ebb, but this consistent improvement in the league position, plus great development and use of playing resources, is, in my opinion, very, very admirable. I know he can be an intense fella who gets under the skin of opposition fans from time to time, but that kind of half whiny, half bantery fan back and forth is the only criticism I've really seen of him. There will be those that focus only on his failure at Stoke and will suggest that this proves he can't do it away from his comfortable surroundings at Kenilworth Road. Now, whilst this position is pretty basic and a bit reductive, it is at the moment an unfalsifiable argument until Jones does indeed go somewhere else and achieve success elsewhere. I suspect this being football discourse will also get binary views on the moral aspect of the decision. There will be those that suggest Jones has given Luton particularly good service in his position as manager and he should have no issues whatsoever going and taking a Premier League job after what he's done at the club. There will, however, also be those who will say that Luton offered him a way back in after being sacked by Stoke, and he should in some way repay the faith they showed by rehiring, by passing up this chance and staying put right where he is. My view, for what it's worth, is coming. Just hit that subscribe button first. Okay, do I think Nathan Jones is a good manager? Yes, very much so. He built that brilliant first team at Luton with James Collins scoring all the goals and Justin and Stacey, those flying fullbacks. And then he returned and took Luton, frankly, to within 2 games of the Premier League with that back three with Naismith and Bree at wing-back, Adebayo up top. It was different football, but equally effective. Could he do a good job at Southampton? I don't really see why not. Does the Stoke failure mean that he's definitely not going to succeed? Not really. You'd think he would have learned a lot from it. He'll be a better manager now than he was in 2019. You can argue in these situations he's possibly even better off having had that experience than not. Is Nathan Jones being disloyal to Luton if he does leave? I don't think so, honestly. I think if there was a debt to be repaid, if you do believe that is the case, surely his performance since returning has squared up that debt. And how long do we hold on to these things? It's been 3 years. Should he stay 5 or 10? Who knows? We all know that if a manager loses for 6 or 8 weeks, they risk being fired. So honestly, I don't really blame them when they take an opportunity if it does indeed present itself. Now look, I'm not telling any Luton fan how to feel. That's their gift. Football fans of all clubs, not just Luton, are highly emotional creatures. So I understand the possible reaction of anger towards Jones. But I think perhaps when the emotion dies down though, disappointment at the end of a brilliant partnership is possibly more how it's going to feel. Get your take in on Jones, possibly to Southampton, down there via the comments. Look, much of this at this stage is completely subjective and also fairly speculative. That means I am totally respectful of anyone who feels differently than I do or forecasts the opposite that I do. I would obviously, though, expect the same respect in return for what are my honestly held views on a very interesting topic. And if we're not jumping too far ahead, also get in the comments, if Jones does go, who should replace him at Luton in what are going to be very big shoes to fill? God, well, that all felt very intense. If you want to uncork the tension, then here's something a little bit lighter for you. Click up here for my top 10 Championship summer signings and get suggesting yours in the comments.